Well, thanks for stopping by this edition of New Tool Tuesday. I'm Elliot, this is Everything Elliot, and today the thing that we're going to be unboxing here and showing is not exactly a tool. However, I would classify it as tool adjacent. So you might be able to see behind me, I have all these Milwaukee tools. I have Theodore. He is not going to be part of this. I have all these Milwaukee tools. I have nothing to do with them. And I found this cool store, I guess you'd call it, online store that sells 3D printed parts. It's called Vermont 3D. So he's up in Vermont, and I got a box of 3D printed stuff. So I ordered more than just the stuff for the tools because he had a lot of cool stuff on his website, stuff that I would probably use. So we're gonna open this box, see what I got ordered. So in this box, there's a bunch of 3D printed parts that hopefully we should be able to hang my Milwaukee tools up above my head. Like I said, there is some other stuff in here, so I'll show you those other things even though they're not part of this video. Theodore, you're gonna get cut. Some packaging material. Theodore, go on. All right. This goes on the side of the laptop and holds papers. My wife works from home, works on the computer all day, so this actually just double-sided sticky tapes to the back of the laptop, and then you can use butterfly clips to hold papers and stuff, so when she's grading papers and what have you, she can have the paper next to her and she can be typing on the laptop. Let's see what else we got here. So this is a zip tie holder. Zip ties will go in here. It's got holes in here that you can throw screws through that match up with these holes on the back. You can mount it to something, the wall, whatever. Now these are pretty cool, and unless you do outdoor sports, you might not know what this is, but this is actually a clay pigeon holder. So these, you can actually take that clay pigeon and you can mount them to a piece of cardboard or something if you want to use like a .22 or practice with a rifle or a pistol. You can clip these to a piece of cardboard. It'll hold the clay pigeon right on that piece of cardboard, and you can use it for target practice. And now we get into the important stuff. So these are all for my Milwaukee tools. You can see I've got some M12 holders, a bunch of M18 battery holders, and these are the M18 tool holders. I have a bunch of them, and I've actually never had any 3D printed parts before, and I was kind of worried about it being pretty flimsy, but now that ow! Theodore, no biting. Sorry. Now that I have these in my hand, I mean, they're pretty tough. I was honestly a little concerned about them. So the tool just slides in just like that, and you get to mount it wherever you want. I'm gonna be using just some simple screws. Let's go see if I can find those, and we'll start hanging these up. So you guys can kind of see what I mean when I am gonna mount it overhead here. I'm gonna put them up here. There are gonna be two tools that I know that are not gonna be able to mount the same way as every other one. That first tool being the blower. If I mounted it like this, it'd be kind of in my way. So I'm actually gonna mount that in the back, like so. I rarely use this blower, so I'll be able to put it like that and just be able to reach back and snap it in, keep it out of the way. The other one that I know will not be able to mount the same way is the circular saw. I'm using just standard 2-inch screws. I mean, they're drywall screws, but they're coarse thread, so they'll work just fine. Okay, there's the first one. Go something like that. Yeah, I like that. Nice and easy. Pretty strong too, so. All right, so I'm gonna get the rest of these mounted, and then I think the blower is gonna go on next back here, and I'll probably have to do another row of tools over here, and then maybe batteries on the third bank. So I've got all the tool holders mounted that will work for me. I put these ones over here because all these sit at an angle, and then the rest of them are gonna be straight up and down. Figure the angle ones I'll keep out of my way as much as possible, and I'm just gonna put them in order as the most I use to the least I use. Now, the blower in the back isn't too bad to reach to, but it's not terrible, so I can still reach it. I mean, these are pretty solid. The only wobble is where like the battery hooks in. As far as the 3D printed goes, there's no wobble to it. All right, I think the batteries for the M18 will go on the next bay. So the batteries will go somewhere in here. And this works just the same way. You know, battery slides in there like that. 4 screws is probably a little overkill, but since that's the amount of holes I was given, that's how many we'll put in there. Okay. So that is all of my M18 stuff, minus my circular saw and my grease gun, which neither of those will fit up here. So I do have an extra M18, which isn't a bad thing. I guess if I buy another tool, I'll have a spare. Those will hold there. Now we need to figure out what we're doing about the M12. My concern is it not sitting up there. I know it'll sit there without any movement. It'll sit and hold it. My concern is when I start hammering on things, if there's little bumps in the pallet racking here, I'm afraid it'll fall out. And that would probably go for the same for this. There's bumps. Well, this one stayed. Oh. All right, good in theory, but I don't think this will work in my exact setup. So you can see the stuff hanging behind me, and you might say to yourself, well, isn't gonna hit you in the head. There, I finally touched it, and I'm leaning way back over my bench. I doubt that'll ever happen. Again, there it is. I guess if I was leaning way in, I could hit my head on it, and like I'm going up on my tippy toes to hit my head, so I'm not too concerned about it. This side of the bench is the side that I don't really work on. If I'm working somewhere, I'm working over here. I do have my vise over there, but I'm never really gonna be leaning over my vise. That's kind of why I mounted the stuff over here. And if you're interested in purchasing some of these, I will leave the link to the website in the description below, as well as right here somewhere. I did talk to the owner of the company because he actually doesn't offer these. I just found him from something else that he had on his website and said, hey, can you make these for Milwaukee? Because he had them for DeWalt's and Makita's and I think one other brand. But I said, hey, can you make them for Milwaukee? He said, sure. So if you have a different brand that is not currently supported on his website, just shoot him an email in the little contact us section and he'll get you helped out. I want to say these tool holders were like, I think everything was like $5 each. So fairly reasonable to get everything up and out of your way. My bench is now cleaned off. So once I clean all my mess up, I'll have a lot more room here. This used to just be full of tools. I'm going to try to figure something out what to do with these M12 holders, figure a way to mount them. Maybe I make some sort of, I don't know, something to get at a better angle. But for right now, they'll just sit aside. We'll figure that out at a later date. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Everything is up and out of the way. Fairly convenient, if I may say so myself. So like I was saying, make sure you check out his website. If he doesn't have something that you want, drop him a little email. He'll see if he can help you out. And until the next one, I hope you guys have a great day.